Hey, it's Dr. Stephanie. I just got finished creating this awesome video for you, and it was entitled How AI Saved My Coaching Business. And after that 20 minutes of recording, hold on, let me make sure I have the timer on. And the time is on for 20 minutes. I only talk for 20 minutes. After I did all the recording and hit the button, I was thinking, wow, that was a really good video. Then the video is how AI saved my coaching business. When I clicked the button to stop, it said error. And so now I'm recording this video all over for you again. And so no problem. Because the sentiment is still high. I'm still pumped and excited about telling you how AI saved my business to the point where I'm willing to tell you the story twice. So if you are an entrepreneur, solopreneur, coach, or thinking about becoming a coach, and you're pivoting from another reality, like you're pivoting from a different career and you want to start coaching, I would say to you that you have to use AI. It is a must. But I have to tell you also that all AI is not good AI, just like all money is not good money. All AI is not good AI. So you have to know your business enough or well enough to know what your goals are, and that will tell you which AI to use. So I'm looking at the timer and make sure nothing goes wrong. Let me check. I think the timer is good. So I'll tell you about my AI journey. But first, I'll tell you about what naturopathy is and why I switched over to coaching. Naturopathy is the opposite of allopathy. A naturopath is someone who wants to get to the root cause of the problem. An allopath says, oh, you have a problem? We have a medication for that. Now, a lot of women are looking for someone who can help them navigate in the direction of wellness that's away from mainstream medicine. You even have MDs who are no longer practicing allopathy who will tell you, I had to get out of that career because I wasn't helping people. So this video was not about that, but I became a coach because I was a naturopath first. And my heart of hearts, I just want to help people get well spiritually, emotionally, and physically, because that is the premise of naturopathy, right? We learn that you are spirit, mind, and body. And when the body acts up, it's because there's a spiritual, which is emotional, and a mental problem, and the two are not connecting properly. I'll do another whole video about that. This video, I'm going to tell you about how to grow a coaching business through AI. But I had to make the segue from a brick and mortar office to um, virtual, and jumping into a virtual model is what gave me the necessity to start using AI. So let me backtrack. I'm gonna backpack a little bit. When I had my brick and mortar offices, I had staff. They would answer the phone, they would book the appointments, they would do everything they needed to do. Everything was right with the world. The practice was booming. And I also had a second office. So Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I was in one office. Tuesday and Thursdays, I was in a second office. And I was in a second office because my first office had stairs, and I wanted to be able to serve women who had mobility issues. I didn't want to lock anybody out of the awesome experience of healing naturally. And so the second office was just a one floor. People would come in up the ramp, open the door, and they were good. And so that is how passionate I've been for the past 20 years about bringing information to the masses about the importance of spirit, mind, and body healing. Collectively, we know that as holistic medicine or holistic wellness. That's what holistic means: spirit, mind, and body. If that's not what you're getting in your wellness experience, then you're not getting holistic practice. So I digress. So COVID hit. Oh my God. So not only did it hit hard, it hit to the point where I thought that not only did I have to shut my offices down, but I also had to stop practicing because I didn't know how to deliver what I was going to do for people outside of what I have known them to do in the office. And so I had to learn technology. That learning curve was steep, y'all, because it's coming from a girl who's all in her fields, spiritually, emotionally, and physically. I'm all in my field, so I'm helping people do kinesiology testing. We're doing biomeridian testing that touches the energy centers of your body. We're doing cytoscans. We're doing all of this tech stuff in the office. And that's what made my practice so popular, because I came with the state-of-the-art assessments that people didn't even know was part of naturopathy. Because, people think that naturopathy is just some sipping some tea. Or taking some herbs. This is oregano. I can put some of that underneath my tongue. Oregano is really good for bacterial infections and keeping your immunity up. And it doesn't taste that great either. Hold it. Okay, I'm back. So, being in my fields the way I am, I had to figure out how to deliver the same kind of information or service, but virtually. And I'm thinking, how do I do that? I barely had a good website. I didn't have to have a good website, because back then in the early 2000s, well, you had a website or you had social media or you didn't. It wasn't a big deal, because all of my clients were word of mouth. And word of mouth travels far, especially when you're good to people. They come into a great environment. You show them love and compassion, something they wasn't getting in an allopathic experience. And I'm throwing shade to the allopaths, but if you're seeing 55 people in an hour, you don't have time to treat a person as an individual. And I prided myself on spending an hour on every person that walked in my door. So that meant I only could have 6 clients a day. No worries. I had 6 clients 5 days a week, and it worked. Business was booming, so it wasn't a big deal. But when COVID hit, and I go back to that COVID thing because it's still echoing in people's lives. And just when you thought you was about to, to get your come up after, being knocked down real hard, down bad, something else is now on the horizon. So we'll talk about that later. So I'm thinking, how do I deliver what I need to deliver to still be relevant? And so I started hearing this buzzword about coaching. I'm thinking, okay, maybe I can be a coach. But just because I was a naturopath doesn't mean that I was automatically a coach. I became a coach because I paid for coaching training. So $20,000 to become a certified coach. So I'm teaching and sharing the information that I know in a way that can resonate with women in a structured way. So this is not random. So number one, a coach is very educated and they have additional education to know how to coach you. Because if they don't, a coach can hurt you. They can mess you up in the mind, right? You don't want that. So I started realizing that I once had a staff and now I'm a solopreneur. When I realized I was a solopreneur and a coach, I'm thinking, there's no way that I can do this. There's no way. So I had to figure out how to have the best website. Does the website it has an app? Does the website have an e-commerce section? Does the website, man, the learning curve was real steep to get me on track. Then I had to learn about branding. Then I had to learn about picking my ideal niche and narrowing it down so far that I'm only communicating with people that need my service, because these are the services that I give this way and why. Drilling down the niche of your coaching business is so important. I can't tell you how important it is. Yet you also have to keep up with technology, and that's where the AI comes in. So when I started realizing that I needed help, I went on Upwork. They say Upwork or Fiverr. I did both, done both. But if you want somebody to help you like a VA, I recommend Upwork. So I went on Upwork and I found this really, really wonderful person that's from Pakistan. Once I learned to listen to the intonation of the cadence of his voice. We could communicate very well. But at first it was a little difficult, but I recognized that he was so smart. I'm like, yeah, I need this guy. So one day we were having a conversation about how we were going to communicate with women in my niche market. And he says, Dr. Stephanie, we need to start using AI. And I'm thinking, a what? He says, you have not heard of AI? And I'm just using his voice to be funny. I says, what is that? He says, oh, Dr. Stephanie, you're behind the times. You got to get with it. And when he said that, I felt like this big. My ego was crushed because I know so much about what I know. Having the realization that now I needed to become an expert on virtual e-commerce, social media stuff was like, I started shrinking like a shrinking violet. I was like, oh, that's horrible. But when he said that, I'm saying, okay, I'm not going to punk out. I'm going to actually step up to the plate and transition into the new level of learning that I need to do so I can make this pivot from natural medicine to coach. So one of the things that he said to me was, we can do a lot of things. And one of the things that we can do is we can set appointments and we can get things done. Well, in theory, I couldn't grasp my mind around it. I just couldn't. So I erred on the side of having him just do the back office stuff, making sure that my automated funnels were working, that my email sequence was doing good, that back end stuff, making sure my calendars were synced with Zoom, that kind of stuff that I didn't have the capacity to learn. But then I also hired another VA, and she started doing stuff called scraping, and she was scraping information from people on different platforms who were interested in what I do, and she would kind of gently cipher them over to me to get a free consult. And that worked a little bit. And then I came across a company that said we can do everything virtually. I'm thinking, is that possible? So I had a conversation, and lo and behold, this is how my small solopreneur coaching business is now projected to do 6 and 7 figures, because now I've employed AI. So this is how AI has saved my coaching business. I have an AI bot. Her name is Melody, and she makes phone calls. She can have a conversation. She sets appointments. She reminds you of your appointment. She can have she can have a text conversation with you for as long as you want to talk. And while she's doing that back end admin stuff, all I have to do is accept the appointments, talk to people, show them my programs, and they become a part of my programs. And I see my numbers going up and up, and I'm going, what? So don't be afraid of employing AI, but here's the caveat. All AI is not good AI, and every AI opportunity that's out there is not for you. And if you don't know where your business is going, you don't know exactly what type of support you need, you will waste your time. You'll be wasting time. Some things you don't need AI for. Like if you're not a social media coach, then you don't need the AI social media apps and stuff for videos and stuff. Now, I do know that my assistant does chop up my videos in an AI app. I'm not going to give you the app because I'm not promoting or doing any, what do you call it? I don't know, what's that word? I'm not promoting any apps or any business besides, giving you this information. And she can chop up my videos, and I'm finding that's helpful. But one of the things I want to share with you is posting videos and stuff all the time is not going to get you clients. What it does do, it pads your sense of stability in your field, and it gives people a sense of awareness. Like, you're watching this video, you're getting to know me. And over time, you may or may not decide to become a client of mine, but you might keep watching me because my videos are helping you think about what you need to do in your coaching space, at least in this video as it relates to AI. So I'll go back to that story because it's really cool. So I got to a new company, and they said that we can have AI do some really amazing things for you. So, like I said, my AI is named Melody. And 2 days ago, I went into my platform and I saw that there was a name, there was a conversation that came in, but it didn't have a name. There was just a recording of the conversation. And the conversation says, here's the phone ringing. Ding. Hello, this is Melody. I'm Dr. Stephanie Reed's AI assistant, a dedicated naturopath specializing in women's health. How can I help you today? Then I know that sounds like AI, y'all, but it was me. But the cool part about it is the person on the other end says, hi, my name is, and I'd like to book an appointment. And Melody says, well, what concerns do you have so I can make sure that I write the appropriate notes for Dr. Steph to see? She says, well, I'm having problems with weight loss and I really need support. And Melody says, yeah, Dr. Steph can help you with weight loss. Did you know that weight is not just about only fat or adipose? It's about water, waste, and density of your bones, all of that. And the person goes, oh, I didn't know that. So now my AI is having this intelligent conversation with someone who's wanting to speak with me to inquire about a problem that they have. So what my AI has done, it started showing value in the call already by giving them some new insight about their problem. And when I heard the call, I was like, wow, that is major. Not only did Melody handle the call and engage the conversation, She asked very gently in several different ways, this sounds like information that you would want to know more about, and it feels like you have some challenges that needs resolution. Would you like to book an appointment with Dr. Stephanie? I have this date or that date, and I'm listening to the call going, and the lady going, well, I like this date, and I would like the 20th of blah, 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 blah. And Melody says, okay, I can see if I can check that date, the 20th. And the lady goes, no, I said the 28th. And Melody says, my apologies. I thought I heard you say 20, not 28. And I'm thinking, no way that this is happening. At the end of the day, Melody absolutely had the conversation and set the appointment. I was like, this is major. Now, it's also a little creepy because I'll tell you a story about this. Melody is actually the avatar of my daughter, meaning I gave my avatar the name Melody because that's the name of my daughter who passed away in 2014. One of the ways that I coach women, I coach them in a way of understanding how to deal with grief and how grief manifests in physical problems. So, grief will manifest as a lung problem, asthma, bronchitis, emphysema. So, whenever I have someone who connects with me and they say, I've been having this breathing problem for a long time and nobody can fix it, the first thing I'll ask them is, what are you grieving? And you will be surprised that a lot of women are not only grieving the loss of loved ones, you know, aunts, uncles, grandparents, they're also grieving the loss of a baby that they lost. Sometimes either through the stillbirth or premature birth or stillbirth, or even sometimes voluntary termination. That's still a loss in a woman's heart. And you know, it's these things that creates the challenges of health for women. So if you're taking things and you have a great diet and your health is still not good, chances are you have an emotional, which is a spiritual problem, and a limiting belief, which is a mental problem. It's all my fault. I shouldn't have did it. That will cause a lung problem, grief. So I digress again. So I said that I wanted my avatar to be named Melody, and I wanted her to have the personality of my daughter. And the reason why I knew the personality of my daughter, even though she only lived 9 hours and 20 minutes after birth, is because I communicated with her in the womb. We had conversations. We even have a dance. When I was pregnant with her, I would say, let's turn on Stevie Wonder's Another Star and dance to the star. And we would dance to that song, and I would hold my belly and we would shake, and I would feel that she would giggle because before she was conceived, she came to me in a dream and she says, hi, Mom, my name is Melody and I'm going to come soon. And before I know it, like a couple of weeks later, I was pregnant. I was like, huh, wow. They asked me to take a test called a chorionic villi sampling, which I do not recommend. It is very invasive, and they had to stick a probe up into my uterus. It broke my water. And even though I didn't go into labor right away, what it did was it broke my water eventually. And that's what happened. And because of that, when my daughter was born, she didn't live because her lungs weren't developed. And because of her undeveloped lungs, um, she didn't live. However, I felt her personality. So when the tech people asked me what was the personality of my avatar, I could say she's warm, she's compassionate, she's inviting, she's engaging, she has a sense of humor, because that's all the things I felt in my daughter through the time that I had with her in my womb and the small amount of time that I had a chance to embrace her, chest to chest, heart to heart. So it makes sense to me that having AI help me with my business with the avatar of my daughter and the name Melody, my business is skyrocketing, guys. Now, it might be an extra blessing because of my daughter, but I feel like the blessing is in me being willing to open up my idea of what business should be into the expansive world of technology, even though my origins are from a head, heart space in terms of how I deliver service. So, with that being said, don't be afraid to use technology. Don't be afraid to employ AI, but only the parts of AI that's going to serve the goal that you're trying to reach. If you're not a content creator and you're not making story videos and things like that, then you don't need some stuff. But if you are a coach and you need somebody to answer your phone and to set your appointments and to text message, Melody had a conversation with somebody that lasted for 37 interactive threads, and they were having a conversation like she was a person, and I was just mind blown. But at the end of the day, employing AI, how does it save my coaching business, is I have more time now to just coach. I don't have to waste my time answering the phone or calling people back or scheduling my own appointments or even sending reminders. And even if the person doesn't show up, you know what happens? I click the button and it says no show, and the client gets recycled back into the conversation with Melody. And she says, "Oh, wow, you missed your appointment. I hope everything is okay. Would you like to reschedule? I have these days available." You probably want to get them before they fill up. So you have somebody that's with you, following up for you. And I just want to say that AI works. So this is how AI has saved my coaching business. Now I can do what I love. If you like anything that I said and you want to continue to follow me, please like, share, hit the bell. If you want to know anything else about what I do, the description is in the links are in the description. I'm also giving a women's retreat, the first international retreat in Dominican Republic in March 12th to 16th. So if you want to hang out with me, you got to hurry up and register. The links are below. Every 2 weeks, I give a Q&A, so that's also below. And if you want to know anything about my books, here, this side, yeah, they're on Amazon. You can find me there. So I hope you like this video. Until next time, be well.